This is your July energy forecast. Hey there, I hope you had a lot of fun in June. Congratulations to all the graduates. It's quite an accomplishment to finish school, and it feels really good, like you're off on the right foot and ready to jump into your life. And that's the thing this month in July. It really feels like we are being prepared. We've got to jump in with both feet and trust that everything we've been feeling, wanting to do, all the creativity that's been flowing for the first part of this year, it's time. It's time to let it out of you. So I'm going to give you some tips how to do that. In the meantime, though, like this video, make sure you send me a comment. I love hearing from you, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that really helps me create more videos and keep doing this for you. So, also, big deal in July is to make sure that you have some type of spiritual practice for yourself. So please check out my free course below. Five steps to developing a spiritual practice, getting to love you. That's a big deal for the month of July, and I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, I want to start from a place of humbleness. I can't believe how many times the word humble came up in this month as I got my download. So really important that we work on humbleness within ourselves. And that means to stay away from fear, to stay away from wanting to be right all the time, to stay away from overconfidence, or to stay away from judgment. And so really important that we know that it's okay. We may not be the best at everything. Somebody is always going to be better than you, and that's okay too. Everybody in the collective, we're all giving back to the collective, or to all of us, to the divine, to the universe. We're staying in service, and that's really a good way to stay humble as well. It's a really great way to crush ego, to make sure that you're thinking of others and doing for others. And ultimately, we are serving the divine if we're doing that. So stay in service of others. Also, it's so important to know that we can have imperfect perfection. What is perfection to you may not be perfection to somebody else. And when you're looking outside of yourself for some kind of validation, I feel like you're always going to end up in a bad place. You've really got to look within and stay with your true feelings about things, and focus on your body. Your body is like a measuring tool. So if you're feeling something that makes you tense or kind of close up, or you don't like it, your energy is not aligned, you're going to know within your body, because what feels good to you feels like an openness, feels like a readiness and a trust and a faith, and it feels still and calm. So use your body as we go through this month to really use discernment and figure out what's right and what's best for you. So we know there's somebody always going to be better. Somebody else might win, and that's okay. A big test of our humbleness, which could show up a lot in the workplace this month, or even at home, but a really good test is to know that you're okay if somebody takes credit for what you've done. It's okay, because where it's important, where it's recorded in the book of life, you got the credit where it needs to be, where it's important. As far as socially and around other people, sometimes we may not get the credit for everything that we do, but it's okay, because where it matters the most, it is recorded, and that's where you get your points, your brownie points kind of thing. So a good way to squash that ego is to focus on others. But a cure for judgment is to be curious. So to make sure that you're asking open questions that make your body feel like comfortable and open, instead of accusatory. So we've often done this when something happens to us, a drama plays out in our life, and we say, why did they say that to me? Or why did they do that to me? An easier or a better thing for our body, so that we don't become ungrounded, because I do feel like a lot of judgment keeps us ungrounded in who we are and what we're doing in our path. So a good way to approach this is, if somebody said, oh my God, why did they do that to me? Or why did they say that to me? Instead of asking it that way, you can ask it in a way like, I wonder why that happened. I wonder what brought them to that place that they behaved that way. I wonder if it's something bigger. I wonder if it's something much bigger than what occurred in front of me, or what my experience was. get curious, because the curiosity actually opens us up to new possibility. It opens us up to feeling things on a deeper level. And it also kind of balances things out in the body. So you don't lose your groundedness. You lose your alignment that you've been working so hard on. So ask questions like what if as well to open up the possibilities, like how can I do this? And what if that's possible? And maybe I just have to be patient and allow the universe to work with me, because the universe wants to co-create with you. We're co-creators with the divine, but if we never give the divine the option to do it, then it's like it doesn't work. We can't receive that divine energy. So how do you receive divine energy? You have to be ready, sort of like an empty vessel. You have to be teachable, adaptable, flexible, and be willing to let go of the ideas that you've held about your identity and yourself, or the ideas you've held about other people or other things or experiences for so long. Be willing to adapt and change and take new information and change the way you feel about some things. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, you know, my dreams that I have, am I capable of achieving my dreams being this current self? Or do I have to adapt and change a little bit, be a little bit more flexible and open to growing and changing? So it's a time to be bold and brave and courageous, just like Winnie the Pooh, but it's also a time to know that nothing is good or bad, nothing is wrong or right. We're always working in energy. So it's only what is feels good for you is where you want to stay. Stay in that place of discernment. Other people may not understand your choices, but that's okay. You're doing things that are best for you to protect your sacred path and your sacred purpose. And we really are these sacred beings walking around trying to function in the physical world. And the physical world is very daunting, very heavy. Lots of challenges there, lots of obstacles. But let's look at those obstacles as opportunity to grow or learn or change and to find a new way, a new solution. This is very important this month, that we're constantly flipping the energy. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of dramas like thrown our way. And it's so important that we take those dramas and we look at them deeper. Okay, so if somebody has said something to you that's hurtful, let's look a little deeper. Why could that have happened? Maybe there's something really wrong in their life, and this is the only thing they could control was their interaction with you. So very important to just kind of let things be soft, let it kind of just evolve into what it is instead of just deciding what it is from the beginning. We do want to feel like we are working with the universe, and you have to be that empty vessel, ready to receive that clean slate. And so how do we do that? We return to the curiosity, almost like that childlike wonder that we all had before we knew everything. So many of us feel like we know a lot of stuff and we use our knowledge to figure out our world, but our world's changing. So it's so important now that we are adaptable. But at the same time, we do still need to be grounded. And groundedness is not just spending time in nature or pretending that you have tree roots or visualizing them so that you can, plant yourself. Those are good things and you should do those things. But groundedness comes from a sense of knowing, a sense of trust and faith that you don't have to do this alone, and that the divine is there to help you and guide you along your path. And so when we talk about grounding ourselves, there's the activity of grounding. So sort of like I said, the visualization of the tree roots, or if you have another, visualization that works for you. Um, if you go to the ocean or the beach or something and you feel cleansed and connected to nature, that's another form of groundedness. But I'm really talking about discerning what your body is measuring as energy coming towards you, and discerning what is for you and what isn't. Putting up the protection when something's coming at you that isn't good for you, or walking away or leaving a situation is sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself to stay grounded. What throws us off our groundedness? Often it's when we do something we really don't want to do, or we let somebody do something to us that we really didn't want them to do or say. So those and sometimes it can be an event that is out of your control. There could be things that are out of your control that come your way that affect your groundedness as well. But when we can control it, it's so important because your guides and the universe want to support you. But if you have been working on some of these things for a long time and you have the knowledge and you have the intention and you know what'll happen if you make a wrong choice or if you do something that's against your energy or against that flow, then it's a lot harder for your guides to help you. If you're doing something with intention and you're knowing, you know that if I do this thing, it probably won't work out very well, or I might hurt this person. And if you're doing things knowingly that hurt your energy field, it's a lot harder to come back from that. So just keep that in mind, that you want to choose your path, choose your experiences and the things that you're letting into your energy field. If you're stuck in a situation and somebody is treating you bad, then just take a moment, take a deep breath in awareness, and ask for help and protection from your guides or from source, and put up your own protection around your aura so that you can pull yourself back and sort of look at that scene as if you're watching TV as an observer, or if you're looking at something from very high above, from your perch. So we want to refocus, constantly refocus yourself when you're going through these kind of drama things. So it's an awareness, it's a pullback, pull your energy back, it's a deep breath, it's some awareness to think, wow, in this moment, I don't feel very good, and I'm going to adjust and shift and change. So very mindful activities. We are in complete acceptance of self. We should be working on that, self-love, even the bits of us that we view as undesirable, because remember, the message from the universe is that there is neither good nor bad. There's neither right or wrong. So everyone has their own personal truth, and everyone has their own right and wrong in their mind. But in the universe, that doesn't exist. So it's okay if you have things about yourself that you view as undesirable. That's okay to bring those things back into the fold and love yourself. So we still have the influence of the divine feminine matrix, and I believe that's there because really right now there's going to be kind of chaos out there in the world. We have a lot of rebellion type energy. We have a lot of wildness, wild nature, like true nature of people coming out. And so right now it's really important to take that deep breath and ask the divine feminine to fill you with hope for the future and grace to deal with the challenges that come your way right now. We are in this kind of like back and forth between freedom and surrender. As we move on the path and we ask the divine to support us, we begin to feel a little bit freer, and your freedom also, it kind of frees up all those things about yourself that have been holding you back. All those ideas about yourself that maybe aren't true anymore. And replenishing during all this, there's a surrender piece, there's a replenish piece, there's a freedom piece, and they don't all really all fit together. I feel like in July, we're going to be pulled in many different directions, and we're really not being given the full picture. So we don't really always know where we're going in July. It feels like we're getting breadcrumbs and we have to follow them a little bit at a time. We're in this like critical choice point for July. So we've been like saving up all this creativity, and now it's time to jump in with both feet and trust, have this wild, bold trust and faith that we are supported and that it's okay to question your higher power. How do you feel about a higher power? What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? Does it feel like you can give up control and give over to the higher power the things that you can't fix right now in your life? It's really important that we ask ourselves, what does it feel like to be cradled and supported by the universe? And what does it feel like to try to go at this all by myself? Because moving through your life all by yourself and only depending on you takes enormous ego. And ego will stop you from growing and changing and accepting new information. So really important right now. I know ego, it has a place, it works for us. Especially as we go through life and things happen to us. Sometimes our ego is what supports us, and it's like survival mechanism for a lot of us. But now it's like there's so many ego busting things happening that we've really got to focus on what's important. And what's important right now is our expansion, our growth, our ability to learn, our ability to help others and be in service of the universe. So important right now that we do think about how it makes us feel to believe in a higher power, and what does the higher power act, how does it act in your life, and how willing are you to co-create with the divine? How willing are you to say, I will do my part, but will you do yours, and work in partnership? Obviously, I really want you guys to spend some time in July relaxing, enjoying the quiet moments, enjoying the peace or the laughter or the fun with family and friends, because there just feels like there's so many things being thrown at us from the, we'll say, the physical, earthly world, that it's difficult to keep your bearings if you're not focused on what's important. So really enjoy those moments in July. I feel like there's a lot of contemplative kind of things happening in July where we're contemplating our life, how we fit. We know if you've been on this path for a while, then you understand like we are one collective, and we support each other. So that's why it's so important for all of us light workers right now to really bump up the vibration and help other people raise theirs as well. The roots run deep. If the roots run deep, there's no reason to fear the wind. And so back to groundedness again, to understand what groundedness really is. It's work. It's work. It takes work to stay there. We have so many things that can push us off our groundedness and our knowing within self. And so it's really important to stay focused on that every day, and to know we can use trees as a model because they're very flexible, they're adaptable. If their roots are healthy and strong and deep, they really do weather the storms. They do. Most storms, they do pretty well because they can bend and wave. So this month, appreciate your wildness, but also appreciate your quiet moments, and call on that divine feminine for grace and hope and help in your life. I know I do all the time. So I wish you all the best for July. Until the next video.